Editorial or political cartoons make a great addition to a science or social studies unit. Not only do they help us build a varied text classroom, but they definitely lend themselves to close reading opportunities. Since cartoons are short, they can be read quickly. And because they can be read quickly, they can be read multiple times. And with each reading, students are deepening their understanding of a topic of study or controversial issue. That all said, we just need to tweak the 3 phases of close reading to fit the content of a political cartoon. Let's assume you started a new unit and you've already been building some background knowledge for students on that concept. Then reveal a political cartoon, something of a related matter. Now, the first read, we're going to read for surface understanding. We're going to just read the content of this cartoon for the literal details, an overall gist. So that first read, we want to just look at the pictures, the illustrations in the cartoon. Who is doing what? Where are they? And when did this happen? We also, in addition to the visuals, want to look at any text the illustrator provided. Look at the signs in speech bubbles, even buttons on clothing. What information are we gathering? There's symbols that we could depict and explain their representation of, and we might want to consider, when was this cartoon published? All of that just helps students get their arms around the text and the ideas in general. That's why I wear my glasses. It's face value, surface understanding. But as we know in close reading, you read the text multiple times with different purposes. So I break out my microscope, and now I want to zoom in on different facets of the cartoon and really get students to question, why did the author do what the author did? What stereotypes did he or she use? How about symbols and associations? Who's the intended audience for this cartoon? And overall, what is the cartoonist's purpose? What is his perspective on this topic or issue? Now it's time to put down the microscope and pull out the telescope. We want to evaluate the author's ideas. We want to look at his argument overall. Phase 3 asks the reader to really consider, why does this text matter? How does the cartoon help the reader further understand the debate, the issue, the topic? And how effectively did the cartoonist convey the argument? And overall, what about his persuasive techniques? How did symbolism, irony, hyperbole, even satire strengthen or weaken his argument? This third phase of close reading gets students to pull back from just looking at the text in isolation to considering it overall, across the whole concept or issue or topic. In fact, it's at this point you might bring in a second cartoon on the same topic and start to do a text-to-text comparison. How do the 2 different illustrators and arguments convey their thoughts?